Good morning, students. Welcome to your computer class. In the previous class, we are discussing about Photoshop, in which we have been seen different tools through which we can edit our image and give it an impressive and attractive look. Now, today we will talk about the layers in Photoshop, filters in Photoshop, how we will save a Photoshop image, and then we will come to the question and answers of this chapter, because this is the means these three are the last topic of the chapter, and after that we are having the exercise session. So we are going to do that. So coming to the textbook, layers in Photoshop. You can separate the elements in your image so that you can move and transform them independently of one another. Okay, so whatever the elements of your image, you can just separate them and move and transform them independently. You can accomplish this by placing them in a different layers. Of course, if you are working on an eye, it has a different layer. If you are working on a cheeks, it has a different layer. If you are working on a neck, it has a different layer, because it makes easy to work on Photoshop if you are having different layers. So the adjustment or the changes which are done onto the single layer, it will not affect the other layer. Okay. Multiple layers with each layer containing different objects in the image. When you open a digital camera photo or newly scanned images in Photoshop, it exists as a single layer known as the background layer. Okay, you can add new layers on top of the background layer as you work. So what happened? Just we select the second layer, that is called a duplicate layer of that picture. So if the picture has any wrong effect or it doesn't been means edited properly, then our old picture will not be disturbed, it will be same. So that is called the background layer. So after clicking on W means duplicate, you can rename that picture, and the original picture will be as it is, as you have selected. Layered in Photoshop files act like several images combined into one. Each layer of an image has its own set of pixels that you can move and transform independently of the pixel in other layers. Now, most commands, okay, most commands affects only the layer of that you selected. That I told you that which layer will be selected, only on that layer it will be affected. If you click and drag with move tool, the selected layer moves while the other layers stay in place. Means only that part of the layer will move which you have selected, other will be same at their place. If you apply a color adjustment, color of only the selected layer change. So you can combine, duplicate and hide layers in an image as well as shuffle their order. So by this you can alter the changes. Only that part will be covered, means colored. Only that part will be edited. So nothing much you have to do. You have to just make a layers, and on each layer you have to select and perform the editing. Hope clear to you all, as I have shown in your videos also how we are doing. Now next, filter in Photoshop. With Photoshop filters, you can quickly and easily apply enhancements to your web page. Sorry, not a page, image, including artistic effects, texture effect and distortion. You can give them artistic effects or a texture effects or distortions. Okay, so filters can help you to correct the defects in your image or enables you to turn the photograph into something that resembles impressionist painting. It doesn't look a dull. Okay, it can change the dull face into bright, darkness to contrast, it will just lightness to darkness. Then the pimples, it can remove the pimples also, make a dark person a white person, change the eyebrow setting. These all things we can do in Photoshop filters. So Photoshop comes with many filters. You can use artistic filters to make your image look so it was created with a paintbrush. Blur filter reduce the amount of detail in your image. Distort filter stretch and squeezes areas of your image. So filters are in the noise. Menu adds and removes grayness, and it can be usefully to apply the abstract texture of the scene. As I told you, it will change the texture of the scene, the backgrounds, okay, and many things. And whatever you will choose, that will. At last, we are coming to the saving of Photoshop image. Okay, how will you going to save that image? Okay, as earlier you are using MS Office and MS Excel, different office tools are there. Now the same process there, you can save your image in Photoshop native image format. This format enables you to retain multiple layers in your image. If it has those layers, the steps to save images are as follows. Click on File menu, as you already know. Click on Save if the file has yet to be named and saved. The Save As dialog box appears. If the file has to be named, till now it is not named, it is not saved, then it has to be saved. So a dialog box appears. There, click down arrow button to choose folder in which you want to save the image. In pictures, documents, downloads, wherever. Now name the image file. Click the down arrow button and select the Photoshop file format, that is JPEG, if you want to save the file in other format. If you would like to save a copy of the file and keep the existing file open, then click on the checkbox as a copy. If you just want to save a copy of that file. If you would like to merge the multiple layers in your image into one layer, click layers and checkbox. If you want that the picture is perfect, now I have edited, then all the layers should be merged in a one layer, then you can do that also and click on save. So this thing is easy to do, and .psd is the extension of Photoshop. Okay, is the extension of Photoshop. So now this is all about the chapter, and if you see the self-evaluation, I know that Photoshop allows us to create, modify, combine and optimize digital images. Yes, that's true. I know that Photoshop tools let us move, color, stylize elements to our image. Yes, it allows us. I know that foreground color helps to paint, fill the strike selection. Very right. Not the background selection, because background selection is for eraser. I know that a background color helps to fill and erased areas of an image. I know that we can select a rectangular or elliptical area of our image by using the marquee tool. I know that eyedropper tools enable us to paint using a color already present in our image. Yes, we can do. We can adjust the highlights and shadows of our image by brightness and contrast. Yes, you can do by decreasing and increasing the contrast or the brightness. We can change the amount of specific colors in our image by color balance command. Of course, you can balance the color. Magnetic lasso tool is used to select elements of our image that have well defined edges. So this is also correct, that magnetic lasso tool we can use which has a well defined images. And I know that burn tool is used to darken the specific area of the image. Burn tool is used to darken the specific area of the image. So which tool is used to lighten? So dodge. Okay, here we can change the answer in the examination, ask with you. So here dodge tool is used to lighten. Instead of darken, you will lighten a specific area of an image. Clear? So these all things we had studies in this chapter. These are the, you can say, a main points or a summary or a keywords which you can also remember. Now take the correct answer. Photoshop is developed under. Who has developed Photoshop? No Google, no Microsoft. Adobe. So the answer is Adobe. Okay. It is too long, that's why I am making it short. Okay, small one. Adobe. Digital images in Photoshop are made up of tiny solid color squares. So what are the tiny solid color squares? They are dots or pixel. So the answer is pixel. Okay, because the tiny solid square colors are called pixels in this. Okay, next, it can be used to exchange the size of an image. Crop tool, fuzzy tool, pencil tool. So you have to change the size of an image. So for that, crop tool is there. It can be used to copy information from one area of an image to another. Which tool is used? Clone stamp tool is used. Darken a specific area, already you have seen, that is a burn tool. If you want to lighten, then you will use dodge. It can be used to select colors from an open image. Eyedropper. Once again I am repeating. Photoshop developed by or developed under Adobe. Digital images in Photoshop are made up of tiny solid square colors that are called pixels. It can be used to exchange the size of an image, that is crop tool. Then used to copy information from one area of an image to another, that is clone stamp tool. To darken the specific area of an image, we use burn tool, and at last it is eyedropper tool. Now coming to the filling the blanks. You can apply colors to pixels after selecting them by paintbrush and dash. Okay, so here what answer can be perfect in this? You can apply colors to pixels after selecting them by paintbrush and airbrush. Okay, next we can change the dash size of an image to add blank space to its borders. So if you want to put a blank space, then of course canvas is there. Third, dash tool is used to select the groups of similarly colored pixels. Magic wand tool is used. To select the similar colored pixels. Dash filter reduce the amount of detail in your image. Zoom in or out. Or instead of that, we can use blur. Blur filter. Okay. Because if your picture becomes blurred, then you can't able to see the details of your image. Painting tools such as brush tool apply the dash of color pixels. Okay, pixels. Once again I am repeating. First one airbrush, second canvas, third magic wand tool, fourth blur, and fifth one is your pixels. Okay, so now you have completed your fill in the blanks also. Now coming to the true false. Adobe Photoshop is a word processor software. Can you say it? No. So the answer will be false. Okay, answer is false. Second, the default background color in Photoshop is black. No, I haven't seen. Default background color in Photoshop is white. Okay, so the answer is false. Regular lasso tool is also used to create oddly shaped or jagged selection. So answer is true. It is used to select the oddly shaped or jagged selection. Dodge tool is used to lighten the specific area of an image. So the correct answer is true, because burn tool is used to darken. Burn tool is used to lighten a specific area of an image. False. Burn tool is used to darken. A foreground color helps to paint, fill and strike selection. True. So now false, false, here false, false, true, true, false, true. So this one cross is false, false, false. Okay. So this is the answer of your true false. Hope you all have got your exercise of true false, fill in the blanks and take the correct answer. Okay. Now coming to the very short answers. What is Photoshop? So if we are talking about a Photoshop, then you can write from here also that Photoshop is a graphical editor software which is used to create, modify, combine and optimize digital images. Otherwise you can get the answer from here also. From the first page of the chapter you can see here. Adobe Photoshop or simply Photoshop is a graphic editor software developed by and published by Adobe system. It allows you to create, modify, combine, optimize digital images. Only this much you can write. Okay. This is your answer number 1. VS means very short. Okay. Now the second question is, what are pixels? Okay. So pixels, that also you can write. Okay. That are the small square dots. That is called pixel. Okay. If you want to write it easy, then you are having that in your self-evaluation. It is given about pixels, or in the fill in the blanks you can say the last one, painting tools such as the brush tool apply the pixels. So here the question is, what are pixels? So you can write it from the, I am telling from where you can write it, these answers. Okay, here you can get the answer. Digital images in Photoshop are made up of tiny solid squares called pixel. This is the answer of your second question. Okay. In very short, digital images in Photoshop are made up of tiny solid colored squares are called pixels. Okay. Now third question. Here you can see what is the purpose of eyedropper tool? Okay. So the purpose of eyedropper tool is to do what? Select a color from an open image. Okay. Select a color select a color from an open image. This is the work of eyedropper tool. Which tool is used to darken a specific area of an image? So how many times we have repeated? So you know the answer, that burn tool. Okay, burn tool is used to darken a specific area of the image. Now name the tool used to select the groups of similar colored pixels. So the tool used to select the group of similar colored pixels are, or you can say is, magic wand tool. Magic wand tool. Clear? What is the common mode of working with color images in Photoshop? So you know the common code means mode for working the color images. So for color images the common mode is RGB, red, green, blue. And the last one is, what is the file extension of the name Photoshop? So .psd. Okay, .psd. So I am repeating. Select a color from an open image. Eyedropper tool. Burn tool is used to darken the specific area of an image. Magic wand tool is used to select the group of similar colored pixels. RGB is the common mode for working with color images in Photoshop, and the file extension name in Photoshop is .psd. So we have completed our short answer. Now we have to go through with the long answers. Okay, so first one is explain the use of Photoshop. What is the use of Photoshop? So you can get on the first page itself. So here you can see Photoshop allows us to create, modify, combine and optimize digital images. And we can save the images to print, share via email, publish online and view handheld device. As well as Photoshop paintbrush, airbrush and pencil tools apply colors or patterns to our images after selecting its a pixel. So males, what is the use? It is used for editing, creating, modification, combine and optimize digital images. So this answer is perfect for your question. Now second question is write the variety of sources you can get images from while using Photoshop. So again the answer is front of the eyes. Photoshop tools lets you move color, styles and text to elements in your image. Okay. So it has asked about the various sources you can get. So these are the I think the sources which you can get, okay, for editing your what means Photoshop. Okay. Okay. This one. Sorry, it was the above. Finding the images of your work over here. You can get images from a variety of sources to work in Photoshop. First one is you can create your image by opening a blank canvas in the image window. Then you can apply color and patterns with Photoshop's painting tools. So this is the first one, that you can create an image opening a blank canvas and then you can apply color and patterns with Photoshop painting tools. Second one, you can use scanner. There is also a source to scan photos and art into your computer. You can use clip art collection if you want to a wide variety of image content to work with. You can transfer digital images onto your computer using digital cameras. There are many websites that feature images which are in the public domain are available for non-commercial use. That means you see the different resources. First one, you can create your image, okay, by opening a blank canvas in the image window. Otherwise, you can use scanner to scan photos into your computer. Then clip art also is option, that from clip art you can take, because collection, if you want a wide variety of image content, then you can use a clip art. Next, we can transfer digital images onto our computer using digital cameras. The photos which are selected or which are clicked in the digital cameras, that can be transferred to our computer. And then there are many websites that feature images which are in the public domain and are available for non-commercial use. Means you can download that images and change the things. Okay, so this is answer number 2. I hope you all are getting. Next one is write the steps to change the canvas size of an image. So let's see how we can change the canvas size of an image. So here you can see changing the screen size. Now here it is given the canvas size of an image. So first, canvas is the area on which image appears. So we can change the canvas size of an image. So what are the steps to change? You can see over here. First, click on image in the menu bar. First you have to do that image. Then go to canvas size, which is given over here. The canvas dialog box appears. Okay. Type the dimension for the new canvas. Click an anchor point and click OK. These are the 5 steps which you will use. So first you can just click on an anchor point, okay, given, and then such as the middle one, okay, here if I click, then click OK. So Photoshop changes the canvas size of the image, and the canvas changes equally on opposite sides because you have selected the middle anchor points. So we have selected the middle anchor point, that's why equally opposite sides it gets changed. So these are the 5 steps which we will use to change the size of an image. Now last question is, describe the different selection tool available in Photoshop. So you can see there are different selection tools in Photoshop, and if you have to explain them, magic wand tool is there, marquee tool is there, lasso tool is there. Okay, you can see selecting with magic wand tool. So here you can write the first line, magic wand tool is used to select the group of similar colored pixels. It works best in solid colors and background. So first this, okay, then selecting with marquee tool, another an option. Marquee tool used to select the rectangular elliptical areas of an image. Instead of U we can write V. We can move, delete and stylize the selected area using the other Photoshop commands. So this is a rectangular marquee tool. Then elliptical marquee tool also for selection. Lasso tool, with the help of lasso tool you can create oddly shaped selections. Then you can move, delete or stylize the selected area using other Photoshop commands. So third one is this. Then polygon lasso tool helps you to select the area of a picture having straight edges. The picture having the straight edges, then we use polygon lasso tool. Magnetic lasso tool allows you to select the elements of your image that have well defined edges. This is also a tool for selection. Okay. Now move the selection, that is a move tool. So these are the tools which you will use. One line explain them. Okay, so these are the different tools, selection tools in Photoshop. Hope you have understood this, and now the chapter is completed with the question answers, and we will start with a new chapter. So as you can see, the new chapter, Introduction to Flash. So in this we are talking about again a very good software, that is Flash. In this the topics which are to be covered are, first of all, what is Flash? It is a multimedia software and especially designed for creating vector graphics, animations, games and web page components. Now starting Flash, how will you start the Flash? Creating new Flash file. How will you create a new Flash file? Then component of Flash window. Okay, setting up a new Flash stage. Then layers, animation in Flash, whatever animations you will create in the Flash. Then you will add frames to that. Creating frame by frame animation means, as we are working on layers by layers, here we will work on frame by frame. Creating twin and saving the Flash file. How will you save the Flash file? Okay, so these topics which we will be discussing in our chapter. Okay, now Flash. Flash is a multimedia software specially designed for creating vector graphics, animations, games, web page components. Okay, now Flash is also used for making a video over the internet. Okay, you can create a video over the internet also. In Flash you can insert an image. Wait, I think something happened. Okay, insert an image and add animation to that image. So when you run that function, it called playing a movie. As you will create your animations, you will insert images to that, and when you play, it just look like that you are playing a movie. So when you run that function, then it is known as playing a movie. So the Flash Player plugin allows users to view Flash in their browsers, and nearly all current web browsers support Flash. Means whatever browsers we are using currently, they support the Flash Player plugin. When you play the video, they ask for the plugin of Flash Player. Okay, so this is important for us. Hence, this is a small introduction. It is given over here that it is a multimedia software, and likewise in Photoshop we are doing the image editing. Here we can create our videos, images you can insert, and then you can play that it look like video is playing. You have inserted many apps are there nowadays for YouTube uploaders. They are just putting images and making a presentation or playing the screen that's like a movie. It is just like a video is continuing. Okay, so Flash Player plugin allows users to view Flash in their browsers. Now next you will see features of Flash. What are the different features of Flash? Okay, like creating illustration on other work with symbols and instances, create animations, layers. How will you start Flash? Create a new Flash file. Components of Flash, again the window comes. Okay, we will discuss about this window in the next class also, that these are the components which we will be discussing in our next class. So these all topics we are going to discuss in our next class. Okay, till we have completed the chapter Photoshop and a small introduction about Flash. So this is our new chapter which are going to begin. Okay, so till then, thank you.